So this morning, I thought I would just take a little view through Skyslope. We'll start with a listing, and then we'll go through how to do that, and then we'll convert it to a sale, and we'll go through how to upload that information. So anybody that has questions, just hop in. Okay, so my screen's going to look a little bit different than yours, but same basic idea. So when I go and we start a listing, I go to my manage listings, and I'm going to create a listing. And the great thing about Skyslope is they give you Sky, and she guides you through the process. So we're going to enter the listing. We've got two options. We can use forms, which you'll see I have some forms in there in using the integrated. And then you have the address lookup. So I'm going to enter my own house. I'm just going to list my own house today. And then yours is probably going to populate with your name. All right, so first question that she's going to ask you is what type of listing it is. So you've got 4 choices, and the ones you want to focus on are the ones that say revised 7/1/22. That'll be non-Montgomery County, Montgomery County, then the lease listing, any county that you're doing, and then the lot and land is the same for all. So go ahead and pick Montgomery County because it's the most complicated. And we're just going to make up a number. And then it's going to ask you the split between the listing and the sale. You can put that as anything you want. Here, if you are listing it with another agent, that's where you add your co-agent, which also gives them access to the Skyslope product. And you hit next, put today's date, month, down. So as you guys are going through this, you're probably going to have all of this information in your head. When I keep my Skyslope up, I also keep a open tab with Write in it so that I can have the property at the same time. So I go in and I search under public records. So if I needed some information, it automatically is going to pull up the public record. So it's going to tell me the year built, and I've got 36 in there. 6. Source. This is where did you get the deal from? So you've got several choices. Most of us are going to be sphere of influence and previous customer, yay. And you can change that at any time. And so then if you should have your listing agreement in front of you, but if we need to know name, the email in here is strictly for your records. If you prefer not to have the email in there, I just put their name at gmail.com because it requires an entry. Here's where you could put an additional seller in, or if you had it a company, so that would cover any company, it would cover estates, trust, anything like that. Guys, like, okay, does this all look good? You can always go back, and then we create our listing. So when you know you've done it right because the listing documentation checklist pops up. And when this listing documentation checklist pops up, you've got your required documents. So if you're sitting there and thinking, do I need to have this? You can take a look here. Like on this one, I know there's no plat because if you look here in the public record, the legal subdivision says Barnesville outside. So anytime you see Laytonsville outside, Barnesville outside, anybody outside, that means there's not going to be a subdivision plat available. If you get really lucky, you might have a copy of the survey from the homeowner. But if not, we're not going to worry about that. Then you've got several different ways you can upload documents into the file. Each individual Skyslope file has a unique email address. So you can choose to email your documents directly to the file. You can go to the Documents tab and upload documents. And if it's on your computer, files and folders, you can just pop it in there, open it, and it'll upload. Skyslope has made a lot of upgrades lately in that they can upload larger files with no problem. If you are uploading a file and it just keeps saying error and saying it not there, it's probably because it's too large. So you can call me and you can send it to me and I'll get it in there, or we can save it as a PDF in 2 separate parts and just split it in half. Usually works. But that has not been much of a problem lately, but occasionally it will happen. Does anybody have questions about the first part? No. Okay. Then we'll go on. So we will assume that we've got all of our documents in there. I get an automatic notification through Skyslope saying that you've created a file. So I know that it's there. If you haven't seen that I've reviewed it and sent you a checklist within a few days, feel free to reach out to me. So what I'm going to do is I will split and assign things, and I will look at it, and you can also make notes. So like, let's pretend that I was missing, it's coming soon. So it's coming soon. That notification. So I'll review it, send you a checklist saying, hey, I'm missing this. Upload it when you get a chance. And good luck with your listing. So we'll assume that all of these are in there. When I accept them, after I get all of my part done, then you'll see that this accepted contract button lights up. So if you're ever trying to accept a contract and you're like, I can't do it, that's probably because I haven't done my part. So just give me a call, send me an email, I'll get to that very quickly so you can continue on with your work. And let's say, okay, we have contract. And again, you'll probably be having your contract right with you. The information will be in your head, or it'll be on the screen already. So I'm going to ask you this question, which is kind of confusing, because do we want to convert it to an accepted contract? And then you're like, oh, wait, do I want to do that? And yes, you do. You want to create the transaction. That brings up another good point. Skyslope is practically foolproof. There's almost nothing that we can't fix. So if you're not sure and you think you messed it all up, don't worry about it. Call me, we'll talk about it, and we can probably fix it right then and there. So here's my screen where I enter my contract information. You'll notice that there are fields that have the little red asterisk. Those are the required fields. So it's going to require an MLS number. So this one doesn't have one. So usually we copy and paste it in there. If you don't have one, you can make up one. I just usually make it up in the same format. So I'll put like a couple of zeros and put the street number in there, and then we'll come back and figure it out. Checklist type. So it's not a lease, it's not commercial sale, not a HUD REO, nothing like. There we go. We got Montgomery County sales checklist. There's also a few others that you might use. The new home, non-Montgomery County, and residential lease is all going to be the same. The representation type is not going to change because this was a listing that you're selling. Unless you're also on the other end of it. In that case, you would be a purchase analyst. Sales price. It's going to ask you to confirm these things. And then it's going to ask you if it was an office lead. Did you get this lead from another RRC agent? Here you'll go in and find the acceptance date, which will be the ratification date on your contract. And then whatever your closing date is going to be. And so I picked the 20th. If you notice, I picked a day before it was even accepted. When I go to hit next, because I'm done, it's going to say, you can't do that. So it does keep you straight. Then we've got our seller's information. And it doesn't require you to put a phone number in, but it will in this stage. Save, it'll go to the next. Fire. Then you go to the tab that says Title Escrow Attorney. You only need to put one of those items in. And there may be some information that you don't have. If you know your closing officer, that's great. You can put it in there. If you don't know your closing officer, you can just put a space holder. I just usually put dot. It does require the phone number. It does require an email. And it does know if you don't put it in the right format. I'm gonna save that. You'll see that it's busting me, because you didn't put a phone number in. If you have the phone number, great. If not, that's fine too. You put in the title company. So you don't have to put anything else in. That can save you a little bit of time. You can go down to the agent on the other side. And you put somebody else in there. And again, this is for your records, so put it as detailed as you want or not. Then when you get to the lender, home warranty, and miscellaneous, none of those are required. You'll see this submit button pops up over here, which means, okay, you've gotten through all the required fields. Click submit, and then it'll come up to the commission. So you listed it. There's the sales part. It's going to calculate the automatic commission. There are some other things that you can enter down here, like if you have a referral, internal referral. You can put either a percentage or you can put a dollar amount. Give a referral agent 25%. You can also upload the W-9 if you have it. We're going to need that for payment. If there was any other foot, if you had a co-agent, this is where you would say primary agent gets 75%, co-agent gets 25%, 50-50, however you're splitting it. It will check you to make sure your math's right. And then you hit submit. And then you know you're done because the sales checklist pops up. What I see most often is people haven't hit the submit twice, and then it's incomplete when a deal comes up as incomplete. It kind of disappears and it's really hard to find. But if you are like, I know I put this in there, now I can't find it, call me and we'll find it. Any questions on that part? Right, easy. Did anybody have any general Skyslope questions? You're on mute, Jeff.
Lisa?
Yes.
So somehow one of my transactions got in there twice. I'm not sure how that happened. And I
Well-
saw when I pulled it up, there was two. I thought it always merged them, but I don't know if I accidentally put it in there twice, but
Yes, I did
correct.
see. So that's a really good question. Sometimes you'll wonder if you had the file in there, and Nancy, I'm just going to pull up your file on those ones. So you'll see that I have 34 Keswick in there twice. So sometimes you'll think, oh, I didn't put this in there, and it'll let you go ahead and put it in again, and that'll be fine. What I will do is I'll look at it and I'll be, oh, this is the same one. So I will cancel and approve it. Which also brings up a good point. If you've got one that either your sellers canceled the listing or you had buyers and the deal fell through, let me know, that because there are a few things that I need to do in Skyslope in order to keep the record straight and make sure that we get the proper contract so that when it does come up for settlement, I've got everything that goes as smoothly as possible. But there are a few things that we have to go through. So when you get those listings that get canceled, make sure you have all the documents.
Okay, thanks for answering that question.
You're welcome, Nancy. Did anybody else have a question on that? No, okay, good.
Hey, Lisa,
Yes, Joe.
I sometimes get a question. Do the agents need to split and assign files, or do we do that for them?
We do that for them.
Okay.
Skyslope does have a way to do that, but I would encourage you not to do that.
Well, do you have the last 4 digits of it?
When you put that in there, we'll split and assign it. If you want to be advanced and split and assign your own, absolutely go ahead. Like I said, there's not a thing that we can't change, and these are for your records. Beyond the required documents, you put as much or as little in as you like.
Lisa, you're gonna be sorry that I had this class because I always thought that I had to assign it and now I don't. So
No,
that's awesome.
no, it's all fine. It doesn't take me that long to do it. And when you do it, I still have to review it anyway. So I've figured out that it's just as efficient for me to do it as for you to do it. And then you're stressing over, where do I put this?
Well, thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Sarah, that's exactly. It's so easy just to get every document in there, and then Lisa just does her stuff with it. She'll split and assign and break it down.
Yeah, because
I'll never do it again.
I split and assigned by accident and it didn't pick up my RESPA form. So,
It does.
you know what I mean? So I won't do that again. I thought I was supposed to do that. I was trying to be helpful, but I was unhelpful to my own self.
No, I completely get that. And Skyslope has rolled out a bunch of new improvements. And one of their new improvement is AI based, and it splits and assigns the things. And so it learns as I do it. I'm not sure exactly how it learns, but it does a decent job, but sometimes it just doesn't know what to do with things. And so when you do use their split and assign feature, you still have to go back because sometimes it'll just, like that RESPA, it'll just leave it and not assign it. So, yeah, but good questions and things that you don't need to worry about. Any other things that you think of when you're going through Skyslope? Like, one of the things is when you're searching, you can search by property address, agent name on my end, client name, escrow numbers we don't put in, but you can do all of those things. And if I come in here and I look at that, it's gonna pick up a whole bunch of the others. this little show filters section, if you were just looking for just listings or just transactions, or like, I know when your list comes up, it's usually just your active stuff. So you can look at expired and lost and any other categories. So sometimes that is useful. I keep mine everything, so I see everything. I see if I can find an incomplete file, so you can see what I'm talking about. Has anybody ever had an incomplete file and been totally frustrated that they couldn't see anything? Well, look at you, you guys are great. Because I had that happen often. There is a button where I can pull up incomplete. Usually try at least once a week to run through and make sure we don't have incomplete. But if you do, that seems to be the most frustrating thing. Does anybody use Skyslope forms? There is a part of Skyslope under the apps with the forms. And sometimes it's useful in that you can browse the library. And if you are looking for a particular form, like the important information, so for DC and Montgomery County, the important information regarding the purchase of real estate, that one seems to be kind of a difficult one to find. And we can look through, I can look through all the libraries. When you go to set this up, it'll ask you for your NERDS number, and it'll ask you for your different libraries that you're a member of, and it'll ask for some documentation. So if there's something that you're not a member of an organization, I've got all of these ones here that I've got on my screen that we've got available to, especially the NDAR, which I know they're very closed with that list. So if you need forms, I have access to it. And then the other thing that I tell you is that Skyslope support is pretty darn good. They've got the little person with the headset, and you can chat with them live, and they're usually very responsive. So if it's midnight on Friday night and you've got to have this offer in tomorrow morning, and all of a sudden there's some Skyslope issue that you've got a problem with in putting the listing in or the sale in so you can get paid, you can always chat with them. They're very good. They also have training available online, which is pretty good. And they do different trainings for the agents. And now they have a new thing where they've got online trainings that are available pretty much 24/7. They're on demand. So we've got sessions here, like here's a basic one. Create the listing, transaction, convert it, submit documents. And so you can choose these times, and these are all in our time zone. So you could choose to sign up for one of those, and you can also like watch replay. And they are it'll just complete the registration, and then it'll ask you your name, brokerage, and verify. And Heather and I are working on the training documents, and I will work on putting the links available for that as well. Then, I think some of the other things that people don't know about Skyslope is that within Skyslope, we have documents for working documents that we have put in there for everybody to use. So if you go to the office documents, you'll see some commonly used forms, and some instructions for how to do different things, like how to get a printout for a MLS for a new build. Agents speak other languages, billables, commercial disbursement requests, a master phone list, the RESPA, rental tenant agreement, the buyer broker in the tenant version, RE/MAX referral forms, smoke alarm flyers, and if you need to change your banking information, there's a direct deposit form. So there's also some other things in there that you can use. Oh, and there was also our company W-9. So if you're doing a job and you have a referral, or you're the other end on a rental, Clarksburg one, and the only one. And I think that was all I was going to go over as basics. Did anybody have any other questions or concerns?
Mm. Lisa, who names, like who does like the pull down menus to actually name the documents?
The documents. The pull
Like,
down
you
menu
know,
for the
like a
documents.
RESPA, or like the notice to buyer and seller of obligations, that sort of thing. Is that like pre-named by who names all those?
Okay, so through the office document
No, just like the,
within Skyslope splitting and assigning.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Those ones they can be changed.
there's one of them that I can never figure out the name. I think it's the notice to buyers and sellers of obligations, yada, yada. And I always put
Yeah.
notice and it doesn't come up, and then I put obligations and then it doesn't come up. I think it's that one.
It
There's
should
one that I
come
can
up
never
under
get.
notice. It should come up under notice. Typically, we pull those names right off of the form.
Yeah, they all work except for one, and I don't remember which one it is, but it gets me every time. So,
There are, when you think of it, let me know which one it is, because we try to keep them very simple,
okay,
because all you have to do is start typing the form and usually it'll come up.
all right, I'll do that.
Yep, thank you. I'm just gonna pull in a random bunch of documents. Yep. That, I'll go ahead and open this. So I've got contract documents here. You guys want to see me split and assign one, and maybe we'll find that one too. So if you hover over the eyeball, you can look at it without actually opening it. But if I were just like looking to see, is that document in this batch? Or did I put it in somewhere? So I'm gonna hit split. It's gonna do its little AI thing. So I can review all of this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear the suggestion. I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna go through my. Best. Name the property. Name. Is it that one, Tara? The important information. That disclosure. That one comes up under as info.
I'm sorry, I was muted. It might be that one that it comes up under some.
Yes. And I always pull it up under info. But the name and that don't exactly match.
Yeah, Lisa, we should probably go through the checklists again to,
Yeah, we probably should.
good, yeah, because they change sometimes, the names do. And we,
Mhm.
and some of the names we've used have been ones that, traditionally agents know it by.
Okay.
But that changes too. So I think Sarah's bringing up a good point. I think probably there are some forms that need,
Yeah.
relabeling.
Yeah, I use the checklist, on zip forms. And I just go straight down it. And sometimes I'm like, where the heck is this? So yeah, and it might have been that one, but I think there's
Okay.
another. What is the other one is, I think, is the notice to buyers and sellers that I keep thinking it should come up as notice and it doesn't.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, so that's on the sky slope checklist. So,
Maybe it's not, that's what it is. Okay, I got it. The notice doesn't come up under notice on the zip forms, but it does come on the notice here. Whereas the sum comes out of the sum information relative to purchase. That comes out of sum here, but it doesn't come out over there. So,
okay, so that sounds
Those
like
two.
I need to change the checklist.
but now you're gonna mess up everybody else,
That's okay.
because I'm sure everybody else figured it out except for me.
No, no. And that's why I split an assignment. So that's kind of an advanced student question. Yeah, but we can go. And I know, Nancy, you were saying something about merging files. And that's something I have to call Skyslope to do. They, I get on the phone and we go through it and they merge files. But otherwise we'll just cancel duplicates. And that's the only thing we really can't do is just completely delete a file. There's always some record of it. But pretty much everything else, from being the wrong type of transaction on through, we can change.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure what to do with that one file now that it's duplicated. It's that Baltimore closing that I have this week, and
Yes,
there's 2 of them.
well, we'll hope that you get it back again and it'll be a real duplicate. But, and, anybody have any helpful hints, suggestions? No? Okay, well, as always, reach out to me. I'm happy to do one-on-one training or just answer a question anytime. We can set up something so that we can share screens. We can do it in person. I can come to you, you can come to me, however you'd like to do it.
Thank you, Lisa, for the class. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you guys for joining in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good to see you,
Alright.
Lisa. Thank you.
It's good to see you. All right, well, everybody have a wonderful time tonight at the happy hour. I'm going to try to make it. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Great job, Lisa. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.